Everyone or someone. You know, someday a dog will adopt me and want to live inside this thing. I mean, Unstoppable Morgan has 3 dogs. I'm seeing some other YouTubers traveling about in cars and dogs adopted them. What the heck? Why can't I have a dog? Why doesn't a dog come and adopt me? I'm a good dog person. I don't know about a cat, but definitely a dog. I'm a cat person, but I don't know if a cat would like traveling around in a car. It just doesn't seem right. Yeah, it's a terrible day out. Can you guys see out there? It's the Spring Mountains out there. You can barely see it because it's white. Good morning, everyone. Eminence from Efx5 here. I'm in the belly of the whale. Chuck, Donald. Good morning, everyone. It sounds like it's raining here. Yep. Sleeting, I guess. Whew. Man, it's cold out there. Woo! I'm glad I'm inside. Lisa Kleckner, hello, good morning. Gary Matson, good morning. Yeah, dogs are great. I love dogs. I've never owned a dog. My family's never had a dog. I've babysat dogs before. I've cared for dogs, but they weren't mine. I was just simply watching someone's house, kind of thing. I get along with cats, but I would like to have a dog, I think. One will adopt me someday. Moving on. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Second cup of coffee. Well, I kind of cheated. I had a cup of coffee thinking, well, should I do a live stream now before I go into work? I'm going to go into the hotel right now to finish up my editing for today. It is raining. Come on. Okay. Yeah, I just watched a girl with a Prius. She's living out of her Prius, and she has a dog. And this dog adopted her, and that's what got me on this rant. She lives a lot like me. She does things like me. Keeps all her clothes in one bag, moves it to front and back, kind of thing. She carries about $100 worth of food a week. That's about what I was doing. Keeping it in my fridge. I actually carried a little bit more than her. She had a lot less stuff, of course. She's in a Prius. She didn't have a large. Well, she had something similar to this burner, but it's very small to heat up little things. I think Sarah has one of these. Sarah Jane has one of these little small. Put some trash in it, boils water in like 10, 15 minutes. But I'm happy with what I have and what I've put around me in the last 3 years, and I can definitely downsize a little bit more, but I think my little test run this past few days has showed me that I'm ready to go. And I'm eager to get going. Wednesday's today. Some of my parts show up today. More coffee. Instant coffee. I'm not using this brand. I'm using this container. I believe this is a instant, right? But this container I love because it just pops off. There's no screw cap. It just pops back on. I love stuff like this for some reason. I don't know why. I don't like screwing the top on these things. I'm weird. When it comes to my coffee, I'm a little strange. So the coffee's in, creamer. I've made water already this morning. That's why the burner's out. Oh, my birthday's coming up. Yeah, my birthday's coming up, I think. Next week? Is it this week or next week? January 31st, 1968. That's when I popped out of someone's body and became a human. I've been terrorizing the planet ever since. How's everyone doing this morning? I'm in a good mood. I have a lot of editing to do. Not just today's video, but today's video is going to be the Mary Jane Falls video. It's fairly quick, short video. Went up there with Debbie Wagstaff and had a great time. Got some great photos. And the video looks pretty good too. 4 days till my birthday. Okay, thanks, Bill. Who all's here? Desert Runner's here. Chuck, Pamela, good morning. Tim, Mr. Larry, I like that. Abel Windsor. Hello again, Lisa. And Michael Ball's here. Bill, are you going to see a video today? I hope so. This is a German brand? I don't know if this is a German brand or not. It goes into focus, then it pops right back out. But that's not the coffee that's in here. I just keep pouring more coffee into it as it runs out. Anyway, I love this bottle. Go get your COVID shot, buddy. Al, good morning. How would you know? Oh, Richard. Yeah, make me feel old or young. ALDI? What is ALDI? What are you guys seeing in that? This is Belmont coffee. I don't think that comes from Germany. It's medium. I think this is from like Kroger or something. It's from Batavia, Illinois. Can you see that? Right here. I don't know why the forward facing does not focus the way it needs to. My solar panels are outside. Bill, happy birthday. Yeah, mine's in a few days, huh? Shit. I guess I'll be getting ready to go on the road on my birthday. if not on the road. I was in a dry lake bed on my birthday 3 years ago. I was in Valjean. If you guys have looked that up, it VALGJEAN, I think. Valjean, dry lake bed, just south. The first lake bed you get to on 127, headed south from the Dumont Dunes. That's that's a good that's a good spot. Matter of fact, that's the same spot that Wonder Hussy did her one of her last videos in, or rants. She went out to she, this Valjean lake bed. That's where a lot of my explorers kind of radiates out from, that one lake bed, because I called it home base for a while. I camped out there for months on and off, months and months and months. I still do camp out there. Oh, Abel, thank you for the info. What's a Kroger bottle, which I love. I love the bottle, but I can't get this very bottle or brand out here. It was sent out to me. I forgot who sent this to me. Someone sent this to me, and I fell in love with the bottle because of the pop top. I got a lot of trash building up here. Let me pull out my little trash can, my trash compactor. All my trash goes into these wipes containers. I just rinse it out, put my trash in it. It's great because it you can really cram it in there. Holds a lot, and it lives here mostly in that corner. All my trash tends to make it to this corner after I'm done making my mess here. Kind of see, I have my little cooktop here where I make my coffee. Do not look at this black box. I don't know what that black box is, but this other stuff here, that's what I use to cook with. All this in here, and my cooking utensils and pots and pans, whatnot, are in this box. I cook on top of here. Yeah, it's that simple. It's freezing freaking cold outside, so I'm glad I'm set up this way. Snow all gone? No, it's not. It's on the very tips of the mountains right now, but we're sitting on another storm right now. It's about to pour in here, I think, next day or two. It's supposed to be the doozy, so we'll see. After this storm blows through is when I start following it or moving out of town in hopes that there's nothing behind it. Well, of course, there's other storms, but not immediately. I switched out one of my drinking bottles to one of these guys. I don't like these flimsy things, but what the heck. I do need to buy another Arizona tea bottle. Those do last the longest. They're just hard to clean. So I just rather swap them out, I guess. It was pretty cold this morning out here too, Michael. Bill, I do. I leave the sunroof cracked, so I've got a flow of air coming through. What I do in the back here, let's check this out. I can pop the back. It's now popped. It's now open, and it actually leaks air this way. If I just let it click once, it's actually open. I get a flow of air, and it goes right through the top here in the sunroof. But yeah, now it's closed. Yes, yes, I've been venting the whole time. I tend to Jessica, is there a solar powered generator brand you recommend? No, there's not. because I don't use a solar generator. I've never used one. I have a custom solar setup in my SUV. Zamp Solar. Uh, I wouldn't recommend them. Not at all. Just on the customer service issues that I've had with them, just no response, zero response for a long, long time. And when they do respond, it's an incorrect response. It's like it's coming from the Arctic, like they didn't get the full message. Um, I don't want to badmouth them too much. Their products are okay. Mine are all falling apart. My solar panels have fallen apart. My solar controller is malfunctioning. Yeah, it's just a big mess. So I'm looking for a solar generator myself. Um, Sarah Jane Woodall, Wonderhussy, uses Jackery, but she only uses Jackery because they were given to her for free. Um, uh, there are better generators on the market, battery boxes, what do you want to call them? Some that are actually a lot better than Jackery. But I've only just started doing my research, and it looks like the Jackery is kind of not so well built on the inside. So I don't know. I'm still doing my research, but if I find anything out, Jessica, I will let you guys know. Jessica, yeah, I'm sorry to say I would not buy Zamp Solar ever again in my life. After just the simple fact that when I needed help, they were not there, and they claimed to be very good on customer service. I beg to differ. Uh, Richard, couldn't sleep in today. I wake up every day right around 5 o'clock, whether I would like to or not. Don't really have a choice. I don't know what that is in me. I just wake up at 5. Sometimes I sleep in. Once in a blue moon, I will, but rarely. Hey, Von Dutch. Good morning. Does Renology have solar generators? Jackeries are pricey. I've Don't get me wrong with Jackery. I've actually applied to be on their affiliates program. I've heard nothing back from them. I'm probably too small for them. So I'll probably end up buying another AGM battery because I cannot afford another. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think what I need to really do is get a 200 amp hour or 100 amp hour lithium battery. I have 310 amp hour batteries now, but I can only use about 100 amp hours, or 100, I forget. Right around 100 amp hours is what I'm using for my equipment. Even though my capacity is 310, I can only really access about just less than half of that because that's how batteries work. Um, oh, you're conditioned to wake up at 4 a.m. every day? That's terrible, isn't it? That's too bad, Richard, isn't it? Customer service has to take a hit. Customer service is the easiest thing to do remotely. You can do that from your couch, just answer the phone or email. You don't need to be in an office to do that. You don't need to, be next to your welding equipment or your socket set or your hydraulic lift or your electronic diagnostics tools. You don't need any of that to do customer service. You just need a freaking phone and internet connection. What? The excuse I got from Zamp regarding the huge several month long delay in responding to me. The Chinese are bombarding our customer service, is what I was told. And it was jamming their email up. I call bullshit. I know that can't be true because you can easily block people. Anyway, ODD response. Anyway, that's my experience with Zamp. I not too happy with that. I've had to do all my repairs to the equipment that's failed. Uh, really, the only way to do it is to fix it yourself. What do you use for water purification? I only get water that is reverse osmosis water. I store it in an 8 gallon portable tank, and it's sitting in my front seat right now because I didn't want it to freeze outside. So I put it in the front seat. Has a little spigot. It's on wheels. You can haul it around. It's pretty nice. It holds up to 8 gallons. That's 8 days of water. That's about as much food as I take these days. About eight days worth of food as well. This is an 8 day vehicle, basically. I set it up to be a 14 day vehicle, but that requires another 8 gallons of water. And I just figured I don't go on those types of trips, and I'm better off being an 8 dayer. I'm not taking from tap water. I'm getting water from a safe source, but I don't use hose water. No, I use reverse osmosis water. Usually see them in grocery stores where you can buy water. That's where I get my water, that kind of place. It is kind of weird going to these things to get water because some places are cleaner than others. I have uh, several spots I get water from. My favorite spot, though, is in Pahrump by the Nugget, really close to the Burger King. It's actually in the Burger King parking lot slash Smith's grocery store parking lot, which is a Kroger's. And I don't know why I have to differentiate that. I used to have to do that a lot in Safeway when I was talking about other stores, and I think that's just carrying on. I'm a dork. Uh, but that's where I get my water, and the reason why I get my water there is one, it's slightly cheaper by maybe 5 cents, but the real reason is how clean it is, and the machine that they have there dispensing water is not out of a vending machine; it's out of a building, and with a just like an ATM kind of interface. And what you do there is you put your jug in, and you select which quantity of water. I usually pick 5 gallons right out the gate. Now, when the water comes out, the spigot moves around to a cleaner spigot. It's like on a swivel. It's weird. It's like it goes into a cleaning process before you use it, which is interesting. I like that. So it's super clean, super accessible. It's right in the middle of town, easy to get to. But I only get reverse osmosis water. I will not take water out of a tap. I'm scared to death of getting sick from drinking bad water. So yeah, I did too, Bill. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that when you're out on the road, you don't want to be sick, and anything at all to keep you from having the shits is a good thing to do. Excuse me. Yes, Jessica, regarding P.O. box. I have a P.O. box. If you look down below, it's not really a P.O. box. It's called a mail forwarding service. I have mail sent to that address down below, and it's actually like a mail office. And what happens there is, if I'm on the road, I'm in Texas, say, and I need a part for my car, I can order that part and have it drop shipped to where I'm at, or I can have it shipped to my current PO address, and they will forward that mail to me. So all my bills and whatnot go to that one address, and either I stop by twice a month to pick up my mail, or I can call them or email them, and they can send it to me to wherever I'm at. It's a mail forwarding service. Well, that kind of is my permanent address, is that PO address. Reverse osmosis. That's what you used to install. Did you used to work for? Did you used to work for the grow industry, the marijuana industry? Because I think that's what they use a lot of that. Any kind of purified water. Yeah, Richard, that's the way to do it. Beer funnels. Yeah, Jessica, I found that having a mail forwarding service is the most convenient. I've not actually had them forward mail to me yet because I've been kind of hovering around this area, but I do see the need of it now that I'm leaving the state and traveling around a lot more. So, yeah, it's something to think about. Or you have a way of getting back to your mailbox or PO box as often as needed. Wow, 12 inches of snow in Nevada? Hello. Hey, Van, beer is always a clean alternative to bottled water. Yeah, well, beer is the first processed liquid, isn't it? They used to use that fermentation process back when they're building the pyramids. They had free beer, basically. So they didn't get all sick. Donald, the last place I worked for, Death Valley Fine Cannabis, they grew their own flower there. They had a huge reverse osmosis system there because there's too much uh, borite. Is that right? Borite? Something was in the water that they had to get out because it was killing the plants. So they went through this huge reverse osmosis setup, very expensive and custom made for this one facility, and it seemed to help. It didn't solve all the problems, but it helped. Three on the tree. Someone's talking about a big V8, I think. When scoping out new hot springs, just curious if there's a solid procedure for checking the safety of an abandoned hot spring prior to entering. Scientific perspective. Um, Not from the cops trespassing perspective, but just from the, yeah. I would definitely take a thermometer, one that you drop into the water. Not necessarily the laser pointers, but when you drop into the water, you just get a good reading of it. Um, there's a gentleman that just passed away out in Saline Valley for jumping into one of the source pools. You definitely do not want to soak in a source pool. You will die. That's just plain stupid. Um, I don't. I don't have a sure, safe way of getting into a hot spring. I'm not really a hot spring expert. I'm around Wonder Hussy quite a bit when she does hot springs, and I've been in hot springs, but it's just not my thing. If you don't have a shower available to you after you get out, you have to spend a lot of time cleaning yourself, and that's not a lot of fun. Getting that crap off of you. People think that, it's all nice and romantic and shit, but it's not. It's kind of disgusting to sit in the pools of water that other people have been sitting in for a while. It's just it's gross. Um, that's just me. Anyway, any other questions? I'm I'm Jessica, ask all you want. I'm an open book. I do not mind questions. If let's say you come across a source pool, well, you'll know it's a source pool because it'll be hot, too hot to really be in, but you will see the water coming up from below. You don't see water coming into that hole. So what usually happens in these middle of nowhere hot springs that people construct, they siphon from the source pool a little tube like a PVC pipe, and it runs a little ways to cool off the water, and then it drops into a hole they've dug out, or a tub of some sort, a container in which all that cooled off hot water goes into, and it holds it there. That water then overflows out and into the ground, and recycles it from that point on. So it's a slow flow of hot water going into that container, then out. That is not the source pool, though. If the source pool gets really hot, it'll take a little while for that hot tub, that container that was man built, to heat up. If you're in the source pool and it heats up, you're cooked instantly. I mean, it's like if the if we have a slight earthquake and a bunch of hot water comes up, you will be cooked. Don't go in a source pool. Does that make sense? Source pools can get up to about 150 degrees, I would guess, or hotter. Yes, very, very hot source pools are. Well, if you think about what's happening with source pools, they're in direct contact with something that's extremely hot, like molten lava. And it's very close to it, and that's how it gets heated up, and that hot water rises up, and that's what you get to feel. That water is actually a lot hotter when it started out, so yeah. Jessica, no problem. And if you're ever unsure whether or not you should go into a hot spring or not, don't. That's my best suggestion. Is there's so many of these places that are documented, and I would recommend really sticking close to your guns on safety. In Yellowstone for jumping in, oh my God. Yeah, well, someone just died in Sealing Valley just a few weeks ago. Jumped into a source pool, was just sitting in it. He died. It's partly because the park had drained all the hot spring pools that the source was feeding. So where do people go then? Oh, they go to the source pool, and that's how they died. They should have just left the hot springs alone, and people will self-govern just fine. We don't need to be told what to do when it comes to going out in the middle of nowhere. What's wrong with our government? They think we're all little kids, which we kind of are, I guess. I don't know. Going through my coffee this morning, though. If you ever feel uncomfortable or unsure about going into a hot spring, just don't do it. Yeah, I agree, Gary. You don't want to use the laser pointers. They give you surface temperature and it's not accurate. You have to drop in a thermometer. That's the only way to get a good reading. And swish it around, drag it through, and then bring it up. You'll get a good average temperature. I pointed my laser thermometer at the sun once, and 14 minutes later, the things just started to melt and smoke. I don't know what happened. If you guys understand the speed, understand what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, Bill. Thanks a lot for that suggestion, Bill. Great questions from Jessica, though. What do I use to cook with? I cook everything on this. My hot water, all my food. I cook steaks on this. You name it. I cook everything on this. One burner is all I need. I used to have a two burner stovetop. Pop open deal, put the propane on the side. I'm strictly propane. I don't use any weird crap, just propane. And I found that I need for one pot for water, soups, whatnot. I'm a one person deal. I also have a pan. I can cook, well, it's just a little saucepan, the medium sized one. I used to have a full pot set, but I only kept two out of all that. I think I don't know, 12-piece set or something. I'm down to just four pieces. One, two, and another set. I've slowly started adopting a lot of what Sarah Jane Woodall does in her Forerunner as far as food goes. Those Indian heat up meals with rice, they're awesome at night. On a cold night, it's really hearty tasting food. Um, Sandwiches, stuff like that. But I keep it simple on the road. I'm finding that I pick up enough food for 2 or 3 days at a time, maybe a week, depending on how I'm traveling. But that's about it. Hopefully that answered your question. I think I bought this with this base. It just pops off. That's the can for the propane. You just pop this on the bottom. It has little expandable legs on the bottom in case you want more stability. These usually break off. I don't really use them that much. I really cook on flat surfaces mostly, level. So this is all I really need. I think I paid $14 for this and this. I forgot where I bought that. I think it was at Walmart. REIs are great when you can get into civilization to get to one. The closest one to me is over an hour away, whereas there's Walgreens everywhere. Oh, excuse me, Walmarts. Darla, how you doing? Good morning, Darla. Darla's a great supporter of the channel. She helps me quite a bit with my BMW issues, which are few and far between now. Yeah, when I started this trip, I did not have previous experience with camping. Um, I never lived outside of a home or an apartment or a condo or a structure of any sort. So it was a big step for me, and I kind of overbought. I overdid it, and I took way too much stuff on the trip than I needed. I've since really condensed down what I actually bring with me these days, so I'm very happy. Less stuff, less things to think about and worry about, more space to move around in the car. Even though I still feel like I have a lot of stuff. Not so fun. I love bagels on the road. I make bagels on my saucepan. I just cut it in half. It's interesting how I make it, but I don't use a toaster. I make toasted bread on a little saucepan. Where's my saucepan? It's down here. Everything's pretty accessible. Oh, I guess I should have cleaned it from the last time These these are crumbs from my last bagel. I just dumped it on my lap. What size pan is this? I don't know. It's about what, 12 inches from top to bottom? Maybe 10? Not quite sure. Maybe 10 inches. But that's the top. I usually make toast, whatnot, or sauces in here. I could cook up one steak in here. It's a flat pan. It heats up very fast. I do have a square iron skillet that's ribbed, and I use that to cook steaks in as well. I prefer to cook steaks on that because it really is hot. The pan heats up too fast, and it kind of burns the outside of the meat versus radiating in as far as it needs to go. What am I going to do with all these crumbs? Eat them, I guess. I'm sure there are bugs outside that's going to love this. It's just burnt bread. Oh, the sun's coming out. Really? Looks like it. Anywho, what do we got going here? Roast beef, ham, tuna. I mix it with rice and vegetables. Yeah. And you get a dog to look it up. No doubt. Interesting thing I do with sugar. I don't buy sugar in bulk like you guys think. I buy these sugar packets. These individual sugar packets are really great when you're traveling around because, well, you can crush this down to a small package, put it anywhere. You're not dealing with a box that's one shape. The first thing I do with groceries is I get rid of all the boxes. And I put stuff into Ziplocs as much as possible. They store better and more compact. Call AJ. No kidding. Get her dogs over here ASAP. I keep meaning to meet up with AJ to do to say goodbye to her before I go on my trip, as well as Diane from Adventures Outside Las Vegas. But time is running short, and I just blew up my last weekend by going on this last minute road trip. Kind of blew up my schedule. I heard something move in the car just now. I'm very aware of every sound that this car makes, the fridge, everything in it that it makes. When I hear something out of the normal, I pause because I don't like living with creatures. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thumbs up if you could. Tim O's here. I always have a safe trip. Always. Especially the way I'm going to be traveling next. It'll be inchworming across the United States. It won't be doing you know, a mad dash from one side to the other of the United States. Well, let's hope for the best on that, that is. Ah. There was something I was going to bring up to you guys. I can't remember what it was. And every time I sign off for the day on a live stream, I go, oh, shoot, that's what I was going to tell these guys. I can't remember what it freaking was. Washing dishes. Do you have to do this once a week? I wash dishes every time I make food. That is a full-time job. You have to stay on top of that. You do not want to be sleeping and living around dirty dishes. Washing dishes. Okay, so there's a couple ways to wash dishes. You can certainly use a ton of water to clean everything off and scrub everything down, but I try to not make messy food at camp. Steak is messy, but I use the iron skillet for that very reason. I burn all that off. I don't actually scrub it. I burn everything off, and then I slightly rub it down, and I make more steak on top of that, and just keep doing that. And that's how you season that skillet. If you use pots and pans, you do have to clean that out. What I do is I use wipes. Here, these Huggy wipes. These are natural care Huggies. These have very little anything in it, mostly water, but it doesn't have any of those, I don't know, weird shit in it. I always buy this brand, the Huggies Natural Care Sensitive Skin brand, this one here. This is what I use. Yeah, I have a lot of them. There's 3 per bag, and what are these? 168 sheets each, and I usually buy 2 sets, and I use that's probably 3-4 weeks of wipes right there. I use that to wipe down the pots and pans, the plates, whatnot, my mugs, you name it, anything. I also use stainless steel utensils to clean. I don't use paper plates or stuff like that, or plastic forks. That's how I clean. I also have I'm glad we're talking about cooking, because that was something that baffled me on the road. Here's another plate. Little set. I've got forks and knives for 2. I've got this thing too, which is pops open. Little sink. I can fill this up with water if I get really messy. And at the bottom here, this is a little push thing. It turns into a drain. It actually, you can drain it from there. So yeah. Or if you don't like sticking your hand in the water, you can just dump the water out. But it collapses down to be very flat, and it's also a cutting board. Pretty nifty. So I use this to wash in. I've really only used it lately to cut zucchini or veggies, and I've used it to clean some of my hats and wash my face a couple times. But really, other than that, I haven't really used it a ton, but it's something I really value, especially as a cutting board. Hopefully that answers your question. I love all these questions. Portable sink, exactly. I also use clean wipes for when things get really nasty. Uh, these are okay for your skin, but this is something I use like if I'm cleaning up utensils. I'll wipe these off at the very end with sanitation, and then I rinse them off with water. Dry them off and put them away. So I'm almost waterless with my cleaning until the very end. Good morning, Debbie. Yes. Keeping your cookware clean is very important. You do not want to be getting sick from food poisoning on the road, especially from your own cooking. Yes, eco-friendly products do play a part in me buying or not buying. Definitely, Jessica. You got to follow your gut instinct on that, but it definitely plays a part. I need more coffee. Do I have any water? Oh, I make hot water. It immediately goes into a thermos. I don't want to be making hot water all day, so I usually make enough. And this is a Wonder Hussy learning. I just put as much hot water into a thermos as possible. That way I have coffee all day long as needed. Bailey's and coffee mocha. I'm starting to think that maybe Debbie's an alcoholic, but that's just me. Did I put my spoon away? No, I didn't. Oh, Jessica, one last thing. I don't carry a ton of forks, knives, and spoons. I carry enough for one person. The more I've found, the more, and this is just me, the more I carry, the more I let sit around and not use. So I only take what I need. Yeah, that's about right. $3 is what I pay for instant coffee. That's what I fill with. I buy about $3, $4 worth of coffee, and I just pour it right into that same bottle. Minimalist living, yes. I'm taking it to kind of extremes. I think I'm actually thinking about reducing even more, but I'm not quite sure I'm going to do that. I need to get rid of 2 containers, and I think it's possible. I definitely need to keep my cooking box. It's my larger box that I need to condense down. There's stuff in there that I definitely can get rid of. Um, I'm just holding on to things for no good goddamn reason. Sentimental value, I guess. There's something with the things that I have that have some kind of meaning to me, and I don't like giving them up. Like this stupid freaking battery bank. I've had this for like good 5 years, and it's starting to go out now, but it still works fine, and I still can get about, I guess, 6 or 7 full charges for my phone out of these things. This particular one, I think I paid $50 for it. You can buy them for about 30 now. I really should pick up another one, but for some reason I just keep this one going. Weird. I don't even know why I keep this thing. There used to be. Did someone buy this for me? No. I can't remember. It's a battery bank, Larry. Just give it up. Buy another one. $1 million question. What are your goals for multiple sources of income? Well, I already have multiple sources of income. Um, in the last year, I put together several products I can sell, calendars, stuff like that. Um, I'm not sure shirts would really sell. I've tried selling products. They don't do incredibly well. I don't have a big following yet, so it's kind of hard to really say I'm going to make any kind of money off of that. But I do make money off of YouTube, and of course, but not very much. AdSense doesn't pay a whole lot. I do have Patreon. Patreon members really fund a lot of my fuel, and this whole trip's going to be pretty much using Patreon money funds to keep the car fueled up and moving forward. Oh, there's Wonder Hussy's first hot springs video. Backcountry hot springs. Okay. Truck stop handies? I don't know what that means. Stickers? Stickers maybe. We are all you need. I hope so, Richard. It looks like that. I mean, pretty much I can get what I need done with what I have going on right now. I don't have to really reach out for a whole lot more than that. Well, if it wasn't for the Patreon members, I wouldn't be going on this trip. So if you'd like to support me, $1 a month subscription, pretty much to Patreon, is the entry fee. And apparently I've been getting requests to do more Patreon posts, stuff like that. So I'll be doing that. I guess they want to see a lot more landscape photography from me on my Patreon. So I'm going to start doing that. That's low-hanging fruit for me. Okay. It's been about an hour. You guys have any other questions? Did I answer everyone's questions? Multiple sources of income. Just specialty products, I guess. Or yeah, if you really want to help me, donations through Patreon are felt immediately. Yeah, all that stuff's down below and the links down below. But that stuff comes to me directly. I can put fuel directly into my car, or I buy supplies immediately versus waiting 45 days for that donation to come through Super Chat, for instance. So if you guys would like to, I encourage you to donate through PayPal or subscribe to my Patreon, $1 a month, and that helps me as well. But I don't push away any donations, whether it's Super Chat or whatnot. I accept them all. And I'm very thankful for every one of them. Yeah, Patreon's easy. You just set it up, get it all squared away, get a PayPal account set up. You can get donations through PayPal. You can get Super Chat donations through, of course, Super Chat if you're monetized. Yeah, all that good stuff. I had a part-time job for a while, about a year and a half almost, and that job was giving me about $400 a month. It wasn't a high-paying job at all. I was there very little, just a few hours a day, maybe 3 or 4 days a week. But I was laid off from that. And through that layoff, and then the COVID-19 hitting us, really got me looking at YouTube and things I do on YouTube to generate money. So, Jessica, in a long answer to you, yes, uh, I have thought about it. The best way to, for me at this point, it's different at different stages, but for me at this point, I'm really focusing on my videos, my super chats, videos, my live chats, and any kind of donations that come through, as well as Patreon and specialty products. And when I say specialty products, that's shirts, anything with a logo on it, a shirt, a hat, a calendar, you name it. This is the first year I'm going to do my own calendar. I was doing calendars based off Wonderhussy's images, and I'm moving on. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully, I can do calendars once a year for myself. That is. So I think my calendar sales came in this year right around, I think, $300 for the year. That's not much. I know. Um, the commission I got from Sarah Jane Woodall was almost $800. So you can see that her sales were a lot larger than mine, and I'm only getting 20% of her sales as a commission for the photography. So it was work and trade. So there you go. The larger the channel, the better off you are with doing specialty products. Right out the gate, it doesn't make a lot of sense to do that. I don't think. It's too much overhead. It's too much work for the amount of payoff. I put in way more hours than what is paid off to me. So it doesn't make sense to do calendars like I was doing with Sarah. It doesn't pay me at all. People think that I make a lot of money on her calendars. I don't. Heck, all the money that I've made on her calendars went straight to her to pay off the bill that I had on her or with her. That's since been paid off, but even now I don't want to do the photography because, okay, $300 to do basically 80 hours of work. Just, no, sorry, no. That's too much work, too much downtime. I'm just rambling, Jessica, I'm sorry. Thanks, Von Dutch. What's this, Timo? Please let us know where you're going so that we can all follow you. Well, okay. My next destination after I get the spare wheel, the steering wheel spring fixed, my next stopping point will be Quartzsite. Yes, I'm going to Quartzsite. Whew. I'm gonna turn the camera on. That's my camping neighbor right there. That's the Spring Mountains. If those clouds weren't there, just above that ridge line, you would see Mount Charleston. I usually camp about 5 miles further up into this valley in that direction. How many of you guys are over at, hey, Timo, how many of you guys are over at, what do you call it, Quartzsite? I think there were quite a few people. Isn't Gibby at Quartzsite? I forgot who on this channel hangs out at Quartzsite a lot. I thought it was Gibby for some reason. Oh, shoot, what time is it? Yikes. Well, I got to get going, folks. I have to get a video out today, and I'm sure you guys want to see it. It's of Mary Jane Falls, and I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy it. I have to sign off. I'm going to go down to the hotel from here, which is not far at all. Maybe a 5-minute drive. She's in Yuma. Okay. That's Jessica. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I love those views. And the more you do this, the more you like waking up to this. I love it. Eminence from X5 and Larry Word signing off for now. Have a good day, everyone. Be kind to everyone and one another and take care of yourselves, okay? I don't have my stylus. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes, I do, because I gotta go pee.